Just because you have a website doesn't mean that it's awesome, and it's easier than you think to accidentally make a mistake that can ruin your user experience. In this video, I'm sharing 5 common website mistakes to avoid. Hey, I'm Devin, the Practical Marketing Guy, and on this channel I share my over 20 years of marketing experience to help you reach more people and look great doing it. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to get more videos just like this one, and if this video is helpful, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the like button. So you know you need a website, but you're not a website expert. You're an expert at running your business. When it comes to websites, you know just enough to get yourself in trouble. Well, I've got you covered with these 5 all too common website mistakes that you can easily avoid to make your website experience that much better. Mistake number 1 are sliders, or what are sometimes called carousels. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, this is the block of content that sits at the top of the homepage and consists of a background image, some text, maybe a button that rotates or slides and changes every few seconds. These came into popularity in the early 2000s and spread like wildfire until it seemed like every single website had a slider. Now, the appeal was you could fit a lot more content into a smaller space. If you wanted to promote multiple things, you could slap a slider on your website and fit 3, 5, or 7 things in the space where you could typically only fit 1 thing. The main problem that makes these a mistake to avoid is that they're problematic when it comes to your mobile website. Now, I just released a video on my channel that you can find right here that talked about the 7 essential elements of a great website, where we talked about the importance of the mobile view of your website. And it is by far one of the most important aspects of your website. And sliders or carousels simply aren't great on mobile. They have technical issues where oftentimes the code simply breaks and doesn't work. And even if you can get it to function, they have visual issues as well. Sliders are typically wide and not very tall, where a mobile screen is narrow and very tall. So even if it works on a mobile, it just simply doesn't look great, and it's not very easy for a mobile user to interact with it. Sliders also aren't compatible with screen readers, so if you're concerned with ADA compliance for visitors with visual disability, you're going to want to rethink your slider and your carousel. Now, on top of all of this, they're simply ineffective. The main reason that people use sliders is to fit more important content into a limited space, but studies show that less than 1% of website visitors ever click on a slider. So it's not even accomplishing the purpose that you think it's accomplishing. It's simply wasting space. And I hope this doesn't step on your toes too much, but at the end of the day, I think sliders are lazy. Rather than doing the hard work to figure out what matters most about your website and what matters most about your business, and settling on that and committing to it and giving it the coveted space of the top portion of your homepage, you kind of get lazy and you put a slider on there so you can promote everything. Simply put, sliders don't work, they have technical and visual issues, and they're a mistake to avoid. Mistake number 2, drop-down menus. Now, this is when you hover your mouse over a menu item in the navigation bar and it drops down to reveal several more menu options. Now, again, the main reason why this is an issue is because it's not great on mobile. The hover effect simply doesn't exist on mobile devices. You're either touching something or you're not. And when your menu collapses into a hidden mobile menu, drop-down menus are even more problematic. They present far too many options, are far too difficult to navigate, and when a website visitor has too many options, they typically choose nothing at all. Don't create confusion. Make it easy for your site to navigate. And again, I hate to keep driving this home, I feel like it's lazy. Rather than working hard to narrow down to the top 5 things that should make it into your main navigation, you just want to put everything in there. So you have 5, 7, 10 menu items that each drop down to another 5 or 7 drop-down menu items, and it's just too confusing for your website visitors. Decide what matters most, commit to it, and avoid this website mistake. Mistake number 3 is trying to promote everything. This is kind of the root mistake behind the first two. Because you want to promote everything and you can't decide what matters most, you put a slider on your website. Because you want to make everything equally important, you have an unlimited number of menu items that confuse your website visitors. If everything is important, nothing is important. You can include a lot of content on your website, but not everything can take space, number 1. Not everything can make it into your main navigation. Not everything can be on the top of your homepage. Not everything can be on the homepage. You have to decide what matters most, and it's not easy. Do the hard work to figure out what is the most important next step for your visitors to take and give that the top spot on your homepage. Figure out what the top 5 items are on your website and put those as your main navigation. Everything else can come further down the homepage, further into an internal page on the website, or into a secondary navigation in the footer. Mistake number 4 is missing information. After you've done all the hard work of creating a website and driving traffic to that website, it is such a shame when the most essential information about your business is missing. Yet I see it happen time and time again. So what type of information do you want to make sure isn't missing? Well, for one, contact information. Make sure you have a contact us page with a contact form and your most important contact info in the footer of every single page. But it's not just your contact info. It's also your key services, a brief introduction or overview of who you are and what you do, a call to action to make sure visitors take a next step. And really the bottom line is it's having enough good content to keep people on your website longer. You want to give people a reason to stick around, stay on your page longer, and come back and share it with their friends. So make sure that you think long and hard about what should really be on your website and don't leave out the most important details. Mistake number 5. Having an "it's good enough" mentality. I understand that websites are not your priority, unless you're a website designer, which you're probably not. You're busy running your business, making payroll, getting projects complete, and all the other things that you have to do as a small business owner. So I understand why when you finish a website, you just think, it's good enough, I got that done, it's off my list, I'm moving on, I'm not gonna think about it again. Don't give in to that way of thinking. Your website is such an important part of your business. As everything goes digital and goes digital quickly, your website is more important than ever before. In fact, it's oftentimes the first impression that a customer is going to get about your company. It's not your business location. It's not you in person. It's possibly not even your receptionist that answers the phone. It's your website. When someone is researching your industry or your company, they're going to find you online first. And if your website is outdated, if it's cluttered, if it's missing information, if it doesn't look good, it's going to reflect poorly on your company, even if you're a great company. Your website deserves your attention. I understand that it might not be number 1 on your list because you have a lot of priorities, but it needs to be on your list. You need to think about it regularly. When you complete your website and launch it, don't forget about it. Visit it at least monthly to make sure it's still working, nothing's missing, and everything's okay, and update it at least quarterly. Frequent updates help in so many ways. It gives people a reason to come back to your site, and it's also great for SEO or search engine optimization. The more frequently you update your website, the more frequently Google will update you in their website listings, and the better you will perform in search. So when you create your website, don't just tell yourself it's good enough. Don't scratch it off your list and forget about it. Give it the importance that it deserves and make sure it's reflecting well on your company. If you want to have a great website that avoids these mistakes and you want to do it yourself, it helps to have a powerful tool that can give you a head start and make it as painless as possible. One of the greatest tools that I've worked with in my over 20 years of marketing and design experience is the Divi theme and page builder for WordPress. Honestly, I can't recommend it highly enough. It's an intuitive page builder that's easy to use and provides a wide array of page templates and pre-built sections of your website to make creating a beautiful website easier than ever. There's a link in the description of this video where you can learn more and get started with Divi today. Well, now that you know what mistakes to avoid, make sure you watch this video on the 7 essential elements of a great DIY website so that your website can be as good as possible. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching. And what did I miss? Are there any website mistakes that you've seen often that you think should have made the list? Let me know in the comments. And if there's any other video that you'd like to see me make, let me know that in the comments as well. Consider subscribing, hit the notification bell and the like button, and we'll see you in the next video.